the Prince Edward County Conference line. Please stand by. You'll be joined shortly.
Good evening. Welcome. It is 7 o'clock. I'd like to call to order the November meeting of the Prince Edward County Board of Supervisors. Please bow your heads with me, if you would, for a word of prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for today, Lord. We thank you for the sunshine. We thank you for this county. Lord, we ask your special blessing on us here tonight. Give us wisdom. Give us discernment, Father, as we make decisions that impact every person in this county. Lord, we pray your blessing on each one. We lift up every person who's in Centro right now, Father, for their health. We lift them up to you. Every one of our older citizens who's in a nursing home right now, we pray that you'd be with them, that you'd be their comforter. We pray for every child in the schools here, Prince Edward, Fuqua, or homeschooled, Lord. We pray your blessing on them tonight. We pray for your protection. We pray that you would guide them in their steps, that you would grow them into the people you want them to be. Lord, we thank you for this evening. We thank you for the veterans who we got to honor just a short while before, for their sacrifice to our nation, to our community, for our safety. Lord, we thank you for the heroes that you've provided amongst us. We lift this work up to you now. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. At this time, I'd like to open the floor for any conflict of interest disclosures. Seeing none, we'll move along to recognitions.
Oh. Back up one time. I have conflict of interest.
You do? Okay.
As a
Please.
member of the Prince Edward County Board of Supervisors, I, David Emmer, am disclosing I have a personal interest in a transaction under Agenda 13B on the November 6th, 2025 Board Agenda approval and increased credit limit on the county credit card for the office treasurer. The credit card is issued by Benchmark Community Bank, headquartered at 100 South Broad Street, Cambridge, Virginia. My wife is employed by Benchmark Community Bank, and we are shareholders of Benchmark Community Bank. In accordance with Section 2.2-3711A, 2.23112A of the Virginia Code, I will not participate in discussions and votes the county enters in transaction or contracts with Benchmark Community Bank. I filed a declaration of disclosure with the clerk, which is available for public review.
Thank you, Mr. Emmert. Anyone else? In that case, we will now move along to recognitions.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Deputy Tia Walker is the Employee of the Month for November. Tia joined the Sheriff's Office in February of 2025 and has quickly become a valued member of their team. As a courtroom deputy, she demonstrates professionalism, reliability, and a strong commitment to service. She has a positive attitude, an enthusiasm for jumping in where needed, and a warm smile that brightens everyone's day. Thank you, Tia, for your hard work and dedication to Prince Edward County.
Congratulations, Mr. Walker.
So we also have in our audience members of the state and local government course at Longwood. So if y'all could stand and just be recognized. I know Dr. Davis is your professor, and he's headed out of town to get married this weekend. So we appreciate y'all being here and hopefully learn a little bit about local government. So thank you.
And hopefully some extra credit too. Welcome. At this time, we will open up our floor for public participation. Do we have anyone signed up to speak for a public comment? The sheriff's waving his head no. Is there anyone on the line who would like to speak for public comment? No one? Okay.
I've got one other recognition, Mr. Chair, my apologies.
Okay.
Next week is Veterans Day, and I know we've got an ad going out, but at this time, I want to recognize the county employees, elected officials who have served the United States Armed Services. Those include Stan Baker with the General Services Department, David Emmert, the Board of Supervisors, James Graves, the Sheriff's Office, Charlie Huddleston, Solid Waste Department, John Johnson, Sheriff's Office, Cindy Sams, Victim Witness Office, Mark Stevens, Sheriff's Office, Cheryl Stimpson, County Administration, James Taylor, Sheriff's Office, and Jerry Townsend, Board of Supervisors. Please join me in giving them a hand. Do we have anybody sign up for?
No, no, okay. At this time, we will move to number 7, Board of Supervisors comments. Mr. Emmert.
Thank you all for being here this evening. As you all very well know, this is your time to watch us and make sure we're doing correctly. Congratulations to you all being here this evening. Thank you for coming and showing your support of this and to learn also. Jerry?
Thank you guys for being here, and I appreciate your support, appreciate your interest in local governance, and I want to congratulate all the board members that was up for re-election this term. It looks like y'all stuck with us again for another 4 years, the 4 that was up.
Thank you, Jerry. Congratulations.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to reiterate, thank you for being here this evening. And I would like to congratulate all the board members for being reelected. Thank you, look forward to working with you. And let's keep it going in a positive direction.
Thank you. I echo those same sentiments. Congratulations, especially to the men on the far side there who were in contested elections. It's a win for us, in my opinion, that they were reelected. I think that we work well together, and I really appreciate their effort. We just had a Purple Heart ceremony in the room on the other side of this floor that was so moving, and different level of service to the country than the rest of us, and we really appreciate them. Thank you for coming.
Good evening, everyone. I thank all of you for being in attendance. I offer my congratulations to incumbents Gillen, Watson, Townsend, and Emmert. This will remain a strong board, and we will continue to do everything we can to help you in any way. Again, thank you for your attendance, and be safe on those highways. Thank you.
I reiterate the same as what's been spoken. Glad to see everyone. The veterans thing we had was very moving, and I want to say thank you to all of our veterans and the Purple Heart recipients. And I would like to mention a good friend of mine in my community that received 4 Purple Hearts. That's Dallas Tinsley. Mm-hmm. He went way above what he could have done, and the good Lord kept him here and still giving him things to do. Thank you all. Thank you all. For sure.
Thank you all for being here tonight. Thank you for your input, for holding us accountable, for holding us to a higher standard to best serve Prince Edward County. At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion of approval for the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor and a second. Mr. Emmer?
Yes.
Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper-Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Dr. Pride?
Yes.
Mr. Gillum?
Yes.
My vote is yes. The motion carries.
Sarah's going to fill in for Scott.
Okay. Next on our agenda is Highway Matters. Scott Frederick is tonight being substituted by Ms. Sarah Puckett.
So we had expected Mr. Frederick, so we will hope that he is well, and I will be happy to entertain any highway matters and happy to relay those to VDOT. So if you have any maintenance or questions, or, I know there's a lot of mowing going on. They were on 460 out at Elam this morning, so.
So when do they plan to start on the secondary roads?
I think they were different crews. I think they had contract crews working 360, 460, and 15. Their VDOT staff should be working. I know they were in the Darlington
They
Heights area.
do that right turn thing
Yeah,
throughout
they
the
were in
entire
Darlington
county.
Heights about a week and a half ago, so. Scott said it would probably take through November, but if you notice towards the end of the month, if something's not done, please let Sarah or I know, and we'll make sure to follow up with it.
I know that you come out there across the medium from Bersall, going into 360, whether you're going down to the west, 360 west, the sight distance.
Yeah, they'll come out and they will,
they need to
they'll
get that,
safety mow,
because-
spot mow,
Huh? Okay, all right.
yeah.
Another-
If ever there is a sight distance issue, if we identify the intersection, they'll come out and mow those immediately. They don't wait for safety issues
I know it was
for
an issue
routine mowing.
Tuesday, but, also the sight distance at on Levi Road at the church, they need to cut those, limbs back, so that they can, I had one of my constituents tell me about that Tuesday.
So these are limbs,
Limbs, yeah, they need to trim them back. We actually removed the trees, but it's on private property, I think. They want to do that.
yes, sir.
5 Forks Road now has 2 logging crews on it. And it's several places from one end to the other, especially shady places. The road is collapsing, just going down. And it's not a matter of a bag of asphalt, it's a truckload of asphalt to fix these places. I had 911 addresses, but I left that piece of paper in the truck.
If you want to just call me in the morning, I'll send those to Scott.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Wow, okay. Thank you, Sarah. Next on our agenda, we'll be hearing from several of our department heads, and first on my list is our building department, Mr. Philip Moore. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, members of the board. Thank you for letting me be here this evening. So I'm just here to give you an update on the building department in the last year. It's been a busy year. Our department consists of myself, also the senior permit technician, Mackenzie Tate, and Karen Fulcher, our permit processor. 2025 has been a steady year for construction. Permits were down as compared to last year, but it was still a very solid year. Overall, permits seem to remain fairly consistent for new single-family construction, but we did see an increase in commercial construction. We reviewed, processed, and issued about 762 permits. That includes residential, industrial, and commercial projects. The following projects were some that were started or completed since the time I was here last November. I think most of these you'll know. If you didn't stop at Wawa on the way here, you could have, because we have one now. So that completed early in '25. Also, the Flagstaff Car Wash, Harbor Freight, 5 Pillar Meats finished up in May of this year, and they're now open. We have an ongoing renovation in the elementary school. It's about 115,000 square feet renovation and addition, and that's going very well. Hamden Sydney, they're finishing up a renovation to the Kirby Fieldhouse, and that should be finishing up. I think they're looking for a temporary final tomorrow, actually. We have a new restaurant that should be opening up in the Meharon area. I think it's going to be named the Willoughby Restaurant, and I think they're going to be looking for a final in about the next week as well. We have renovations ongoing at Crossroad Services, 3 different locations on Bush River Drive. We have active renovation going on at Gilmer Hall in Hamden, Sydney. It's about a 52,000 square feet renovation. We also have the shooting range has started. They've started to do the earthwork there, and they have done a permit for the electrical service, and we expect to see some applications for the building come pretty soon is what we're anticipating. We also had the 2 industrial solar sites, Elam Solar on 1973 Elam Road, also Reeve Solar out on Llama Road. One is completed and one should be completed in early '26. And those have been very, very positive. As a department, the permit fees covered approximately 98% of our department budget, with solar fees covering about 50% of that overall budget. So that was a big windfall for us. Our department completed 1,487 inspections. Our department finished implementing our new permitting system in 2025, and we're still working with our current permitting system to try to get online payments up and running. We're working with the Treasurer's Office and our new permitting software to do that. I'm told we're close, so we're still hoping. There's been some times where I've doubted a little bit, but I'm told that's still going to happen. I'm excited about that because I have a lot of contractors express interest in having that ability so they can increase their efficiency. We finished assisting the town of Farmville with their inspections. Developed a great working relationship with their new building official, Mr. John Ramsey. I've assisted Cumberland and Buckingham counties to cover inspections during extended absences. That's actually getting ready to start up again. That's usually in November and December. They have extended absences, and I help cover their inspections during that time. I'm currently partnered with Amelia County to cover the building official and building inspection needs for Nottoway County since they're without a building official currently. That's been going on since the first part of September. We'll continue to do that. Our department's worked very hard at improving our permitting process, and we continue to see progress. We made some minor but significant changes to our workstation setup in the front office. We had a pass-through installed. These have been very positive changes. I'd like to thank Randy and his crew we thought up the work, he did it, and we were pretty happy with that arrangement. It worked out real well. It's been very good for us. Also in the last year, I've had the privilege of working with DHCD. We had a manufactured home installation training here in this building in April, and that was well attended. It's involved about 10 localities and several local manufactured home installers to go over the administrative and legal requirements for permitting and also the process for setting up manufactured homes. It also allowed us the opportunity to engage with some of the local installers just for improved communication. The training was successful enough that with that, I was able to work with DHCD again, and we just recently had a full day. As far as I know, the first DHCD sponsored training in the area. and we had that last week. I was able to work with Buckingham and Buckingham County, and also 3 members from DHCD, and we were able to have that. It was very successful. It was all-day training, 8 hours, and I think we had 37 people attend, and we've had some good feedback from that. I think the biggest news, I guess, we started earlier this year, the first ever permit technician training solely for permit technicians. They're required to be licensed, and they have continuing education requirements. And they didn't really have any training specific to their requirements and what they need to be successful in their jobs. So I worked with our senior permit technician, Mackenzie, and we worked with the other local building officials. So they started a group this year, the Permit Technicians of Central Virginia. It was 5 members, and this is a bi-monthly training with annual enrollment, and it provides, like I said, continuing education credits for those members. And we currently have 5 new members that have signed up for next year, which doubles our current membership. And we have interest from localities, even from Charlottesville and Albemarle counties here. They'll be coming here for that training starting in January. As an interesting note on that, I think I mentioned to you last year, I was able to work with Goochland. I'm a member of JMBCOA, and we had set up our 50th anniversary for the JMBCOA. I mention that because my predecessor was one of the first members of that group that started in 1974. And so in our 51st year, Prince Edward County has started the first ever training for permit technicians. So, and that's growing, and that will be right here in the Farmville, Prince Edward County area. So we're grateful for that. So we've had a productive year. The permitting process seems to be improved. Customer relations seem to be very positive, and we hope to build on the progress that we made, and we hope that we can make even more progress in the coming year. Do y'all have any questions or anything that I might be able? No? Thanks for letting me come and share with you this evening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next up, Piedmont Court Services, Mr. Donald Williamson.
Good evening, members of the board.
Good evening.
Appreciate you letting me speak about our program. So we continue to provide local probation services to 9 localities. That is Amelia, Appomattox, Buckingham, Charlotte, Cumberland, Lunenburg, Nottoway, Powhatan, and Prince Edward. 6 of those localities are in the 10th Judicial District. The other 3, being Powhatan, Amelia, and Nottoway, are in the 11th. So since last year, we have, when I gave my report, we picked up one other county where we're providing pretrial services to, Powhatan. So right now, we provide pretrial services to 7 localities. The 2 that we do not currently are Amelia and Nottoway. So our funding is, we receive a grant from the state every year, and that's awarded to Prince Edward County. And I oversee the day-to-day operations of the program. So just for comparison, in FY25, we received a grant of $816,072. For 26, this current fiscal year, it's $830,239. We also have supplemental funding, which is supervision fees that we collect from probationers that we supervise. So this past quarter, we just ended the first quarter in September, and I have to submit status reports per the grant conditions to the state. That did not include any data because we have a new system. When I say new, it migrated in March, and they still have not been able to get the data access straight. Right now, the state is trying to use a software system called, it's Power BI. I think it's Business Intelligence, so we can pull that data. how many cases we close successfully, how many supervision days we have, that kind of thing. I did meet with DCGS earlier this week, and they advised that it should be coming soon. I did get a little bit of a snapshot of what the data will look like, because they have started working on it, and it's going to be pretty impressive compared to the previous system that we used. So the probation is services. It's an alternative sentencing option the courts may use. It's in all court levels, JDR, or both of the district courts and circuit court. We use evidence-based practices, for example, motivational interviewing. We assess a probationer's risk to reoffend. And then for higher-risk individuals, we create case plans. One of the things I'll be working on before the end of the calendar year is the meeting that I had with DCJS. There's 5 different supervision levels now, and I'll be working on a plan on how we're going to supervise people, and it's really program by program. Like for us, it's kind of the local issues that we face. One is SUD, substance use disorder, domestic violence, those kinds of things. We continue to facilitate in-house educational groups. One example is parenting classes. And we use the existing resources in the area. A lot of times the CSBs or private providers. I have been working with the CSBs to try to streamline our referral process. Crossroads, who serves most of the counties that we have, also Horizon, so we can get people into the services quicker. The pretrial, like I said, it's 7 localities. It's 2 parts to that. The first part is pretrial investigations. So we meet with a defendant being held on either they haven't made bond or they're held without bond. And we do a risk assessment, and we actually make a recommendation to the court whether they should be detained or released. It allows the judge to make a more informed decision on release. So right now, we have one risk assessment, but the state is moving to a different one. So I'll be applying very soon to be a pilot site for the new assessment. It's called the PSA, Public Safety Assessment. So I don't have a lot of data. Well, the other part of pretrial is the supervision piece. So if someone's released on bond, they have certain conditions. We supervise them and make sure they're following through on that. The only data that I can share is, so our pretrial caseload right now is 117 people, and probation is 266. That's who we have active now. We have a board, it's called the CCJB, and some of the members on this board actually serve on that board, and I thank you for your service to that board. DCJS, they did hire a consultant for the CCJBs. He is going to be working with all the localities to provide support and guidance. And the last thing I want to say is I'm just very thankful for my staff. If it wasn't for them, it would be impossible to run this program. So I thank them for their hard work and dedication. If there's any questions.
You mentioned working with Crossroads. What is the current state of that relationship? How responsive has Crossroads been for you lately?
It's been a good relationship. The person I work with is one of the senior staff there, and our referral form, we were trying to streamline it so they can get it by email, they can get them scheduled, and they respond to us and let us know this person, they showed up, they didn't show up, and what the next step is. So it's worked pretty well so far.
Okay. Is that Dr. Ebright?
No, it's Cal Vaught.
Okay, Kyle. Okay, very good.
Yep.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Thank you, Donald.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next on our list, we have the Department of Social Services, Ms. Kim Allen, who apparently has a substitute tonight.
I'm definitely not Kim.
So most of y'all know me as Kevin Meadows.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
I've been here with this county for, it'll be 12 years, December 1st. I'm the Family Services Specialist there. And so Kim has given me some notes. She is actually at a league conference for directors. So that's why she couldn't be here with you tonight. So we're going to give you I'm going to give you a quick update. I hate reading off paper, but that's what I'm going to have to do. So I know one of the biggest things right now is that the government shutdown affects SNAP, EBT. That is something that everybody is worried about. So Virginia has enacted the Virginia Emergency Nutrition Assistance, better known as VENA, approved by Governor Youngkin, and they're going to cover the assistance for the month of November, guaranteed. And it comes out, the easiest way to make this make sense to you all or anybody is that if you were to receive $400 a month in SNAP benefits, you're going to get $100 a week. And Virginia is the first state in the country to do this. So people are going to get their benefits through November. And we've only been given a little bit after that. The state is not telling us a lot. Again, it says right here, after November, it's uncertain. But they had enough to make sure people had enough to get through November. Then obviously we've coordinated with the county administration and getting everything out on the website to put out the food banks and those options. And people call all the time and we talk to them and we try to give them the best resources we can. We know there's churches out there. We know there's people out there that want to help. But if we don't have those resources, we don't. So we give them what we have. But again, this is completely driven by the state. Again, VDSS is only giving us a little bit at a time. So for the past, so to kind of review the numbers for the past 12 months, in Prince Edward County, we've served approximately 1,830 households and 3,500 individuals receive SNAP benefits, EBT. We have issued in the last 12 months $6,316,447 of SNAP benefits to this county, which is a great deal because most of that is spent within this county. It comes back here, right back to this community. 6,175 people receive Medicaid benefits. Approximately 122 individuals receive TANF, which is Temporary Assistance for Needy Families. We received and disposed of 3,128 applications, 1,072 of those being SNAP applications, 922 being Medicaid, 158 being TANF, and 77 child care applications. And then 899 energy applications. These are people that were denied based on their qualifications. And then as far as services go, which is kind of my forte, we received 230 referrals for child or adult abuse and neglect. Sorry, she's got this worded and it's messing me up. 230 referrals for child protective services. 53 were investigated and assessed, and of those 230, a lot of those, when you see, okay, 230, 53, a lot of them are referred to what we call prevention services to prevent abuse or neglect. The referral didn't make it to it didn't meet the qualifications. So we go out and provide services to prevent abuse and neglect. We had 5 children that were provided foster care services, which includes like their basic maintenance, their case management, reunification. And then 4 of those children were placed with kinship placement or fictive kin. So in the past 3 months, we had 3 children that were placed with great grandparents. They have since been returned home to their mother. And we have 1 that is in fictive kin that is with somebody in the community that he recognized that as a support to him. We have been participating in the Kin First cohort, which is what I just talked about, making sure kids are placed with kin or people they consider family, fictive kin. This is a big thing. It's been going on for months. Kim, another one of my workers, and myself have been participating in this. It's gone really well. We're in there with other localities such as Buckingham, Cumberland, Lunenburg. We're all in the same cohort because we're similar in size. And it's gone really well. It's to make sure that kids are connected with family. Whether they can take them in their home or not, they're connected with family. We received 166 referrals for adult abuse or neglect, and 59 of those investigations were completed. Some of those, again, are the same as CPS. We can refer them to adult services where it doesn't meet the definition for abuse or neglect, but maybe we can offer something to that individual. We've maintained, on average, about 36 to 40 guardianship cases, which is those individuals who are unable to make decisions for themselves, so they have been appointed guardians by the circuit court. We've also had 22 adoption subsidy cases, which is on the regular, which is those that haven't been adopted. And they're being, they've been adopted, they're living their life, and we very rarely hear something from them. And then one other thing we do that is kind of new that we took over from STEPS a couple of years ago was energy share. We've taken on 130 energy share apps over the past year. I cannot give you the number of how many were approved and how many were denied, but that's on a basis of other agencies were just, you applied, you got it. But that's not, in our opinion, that's not good for the community. If somebody just can depend on that, then they're going to apply and they're going to let their bill go up. So it gets disconnect and then boom. So we had 130 of those, and most people are happy with the answer we give, no matter what it is, yes or no. So we stay very busy. It's always something at our office. Many of you know I see Patty shaking her head because she knows. It's always something at our office. But if we can help anybody, we will. Again, Kim's not here. She's an excellent director. She wants to help everybody. We're going to try. We can't, but we will try. Is there any questions for anybody that I can answer?
Thank you.
No, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Kevin.
All right.
Next, General Services, Mr. Randy Cook.
Good evening, Board.
Good evening.
I'll just give you a brief overview of what we've done this year. In the courthouse, we repaired several air handling units and did quality air testing, which it came out good for us. The improvements were made to the Treasurer's Office, the Commissioner of Revenue, and Sheriff's Department to include painting, new floors, and countertops. We carpeted offices in the Health District. At the DSS building, we did air quality testing also, and we installed privacy fencing around the propane tank there. At the Ag building, we've cleaned up the exterior a bit. We've installed exterior cameras and improved the air quality there. At the animal shelter, we've been painting floors to help Adam as he gets through state inspections, which can come at any time. At the 7 convenience sites, we've been cutting grass, removing leaves, and just doing general repairs to those areas. Cameras have been installed at the Prospect site also. We repaired fencing at the county shop and at the Green Bay site. At the Hit Park, we had to clean mold up out of the basement and painted the basement, and we bush hogged the property twice. We installed numerous 911 markers and road name signs. At the Sandy River Reservoir, we reinstalled the Farmer Jenkins Dam sign that was missing. We renovated the Verso Community Center, and we assist every department in the courthouse at one time or another to accomplish tasks as needed. So we do our best to maintain our county property and equipment so things run smooth and efficient and that we look our best. If you have any questions or any work orders, let Doug or Sarah know and they'll pass them to me, or we'll fix whatever you feel like needs attention.
Thanks for your work, Randy.
Thank you,
Thank you for your great work.
Thank you.
Next, Information Technology, IT, Mr. Sean Howard.
Good evening, board members. Good evening. How are y'all this evening?
All right.
Let's see, past year, just a quick rundown, just like previous. We've done several PC replacements in Commissioner's office, the Sheriff's office, Treasurer's office, admin. We've installed a new online backup system to back up all of our data out to the cloud and internally. Let's see, working on departments with various projects, cameras and Wi-Fi and TVs and stuff down there at the Ag building. Let's see, the Piedmont Court Services server, we finished moving that over after they had a hard drive crash. We moved it over to a new server and got that back up and running. Put a new PC out the landfill for the new scale program that they're running for all their stuff they're doing out there. Working to make the Laserfish product here a little more user-friendly and more able to be used. Generally improving the network here, trying to streamline it and make it a little bit quicker and easier to work with things, and trying to finish up moving departments over to the new servers as we go. So, and helping out wherever we can and whatever we can. So that's about it.
You get a high-tech fix on my iPad a little while ago.
Thank you, Sean. That's right. I appreciate it.
Push the plug in a little further.
I keep Sean busy, y'all don't worry.
Thank you, Sean. Trey, you're next. Emergency Management. Mr. Pop.
I got a whole folder for y'all tonight. All right, quick update on emergency management and everything else that I do throughout the year. Radio project, first thing, I know it's been a big project for the last couple of years. We're finally getting some traction here. The system equipment is in Richmond, so we're just waiting on the tower site finalizations, and we hopefully get that down here and start to get it installed. We're making some really good progress on tower sites. Next item, I think, in the agenda, we'll be talking about one of the tower sites here in a minute, and got some really good things working on the other 2 tower sites. So hopefully in the next month or 2, you'll see me again, and we'll finalize all those. If we can maintain the progress we're doing, we're hopeful fall, winter of '26, we're going to be on the system up and operating. Worst case scenario, we'll have it up and running. We just won't be able to use it until spring, but that's not the plan right now. Emergency operations plan, every 4 years by state code, we're required to review, update, and y'all have to adopt the emergency operations plan that we operate under through the county. March 2026 is that time for us. But this year is going to have a little different twist to it. We're going to actually join with the town of Farmville, and we're going to make a joint EOP. So if you think about it, if something affects the county, it affects the town. If something affects the town, it affects the county. We don't have the resources by ourselves, and they don't have the resources by themselves to handle an incident of a large magnitude by themselves. So we've been working on some draft stuff. Myself and Chief Clark from Farm Fire Department is going to be sitting down next week, and we're going to start hashing out some of these sections. This document's about 200 pages. It'll take us a couple months to get through and actually make everything work together. But hopefully, by March, we're going to be back in front of you with a fully drafted document for y'all to adopt and pass for us. Sandy River Reservoir, one of my other duties that I maintain is dam safety out there. We had our semi-annual inspection, which every 2 years we have to have an engineer come in. So we partnered with Timmons Group. They came in this year, did our engineer inspection. That's been submitted up to DCR. They have accepted that, and we're good to go. So next year it'll be an inspection by myself, and then we'll do the same process over again. Currently working with Timmons also on updating our emergency action plan out there, getting some calculations updated and fixed. Me and Sarah learned quite a bit from the last process that they have done new calculations and the way they formulate some of these numbers. We need to update our EAP to make sure that it reflects that. So we're working through that process now. Joint dispatch. So as y'all are aware, and the ones that were able to make it on October 1st, officially, we started joint dispatch between the Sheriff's Office and the Farmville Communications Center. I like to think of it effectively as standing down 2 centers and standing up 1 new center. The Farmville Prince Edward ECC is now about a month in, where and things have been running real smooth and well. Seamless dispatching across all agencies, and I've seen it firsthand where law and fire are getting notified at the same time for accidents. EMS is getting notified of domestic updates quickly, so everything is working really good right now. And we've also got our animal control officers in the system being logged. They're marking on duty in the morning, they're marking off duty in the evening. Their incidents are getting logged so they can go back and pull reports up. That way, if there is a question about something, there's documentation behind it on an official server. There's still 2 positions to be filled. They're getting ready to advertise again, so if you know anybody looking for a job that's community-minded, and this will be a night shift, I'll put that out there. But anybody looking for a job, it's a great job. I did it for 10 years myself, and I loved every bit of it. So that'll be advertised, coming out shortly. Just want to give you all some numbers. Now, in January, you're going to start seeing in your board pack a new report. We're going to start including a dispatch report in there. They used to do it for the town when they were under the town. I've been working with Crystal, the new director over there. We're going to submit a report to your board pack, so you'll see a snapshot of what they did for the whole month. It'll show how many calls they dispatched per agency, including fire rescue, law enforcement, just some pie charts in it. Really a good overview. I've seen a draft of it this week, and I think you'll get a lot of good information out of it and see really what that center does on a daily basis in a monthly snapshot. But just for for tonight, the past month in October, they handled 3,120 calls for service in Prince Edward County. And I can tell you, looking at the rough draft of what I saw, that's about 800 calls per law enforcement agency, minus Hampton-Sydney College, they're a little slower. And it's about 600 to 700 fire and EMS calls per month they're handling right now out of that center. That tells you right now, I've been in there for the whole month, almost every day, massaging it, trying to get everything working right. They stay busy. There's 4 or 5 dispatchers in there, do not stop moving constantly all day. The phone stays ringing, calls keep going out. So in comparison, they handled 2,108 calls in September. So a 1,000 call increase. More positive news, we received a $900,000 grant from VDM to build a new center. So effectively what we're going to do is anybody that's been in the building, their dispatch is on this side of the hall, the EOC is on this side. That $900,000 is going to make the new center become where the EOC was. We're going to go from 4 consoles to 8 consoles. That gives us room to grow in the future, and room to expand and handle bigger incidents, maybe inclement weather, planned events, stuff like that. Looking forward to that being completed in 12 to 18 months. And then we'll have a nice ribbon cutting ceremony and get everybody in there to tour it and see it. So really positive information there. One thing that I was asked to ask y'all since I'm here, The dispatch center automatically sends out a daily report of what they did. It's a call-generated report that basically just shows what kind of went on in the county for 24 hours, county, town, whatever. If that's something you're interested in receiving every morning to your email, just let me know or let Sarah know, and we will get your email signed up for that. And every morning, you know, at a certain time, you'll just get a little email. It'll say, hey, they had 15 calls of what, where. So just let us know. You don't have to let us know right now, and we'll get you signed up for that. Grants. So, as y'all know, I like grants. I like free money. I know I was here last month on the air trailer. That order's been placed, so I'm hopeful in the next 2 or 3 months we'll have that in the county, available for the fire department. They've applied for a PPE grant through the fire programs, 23 sets of gear for the fire departments in the county, about a $100,000 grant. I have been notified we've been advanced up to the next stage, so I'm hopeful that we're going to continue to do that and get the award by the end of the year. If you do that math on those 23 sets of gear at $100,000, that's about $4,000 a set of gear, and that's not the complete ensemble. That is boots, pants, and coat. That doesn't include helmet, that doesn't include Nomex hood around your head, or gloves. So if we added all that together, we'd be about $500 to $5,200 per set per firefighter. I'm currently working on another grant right now for the fire departments through fire programs. They put out these mini grants every once in a while, and they have an initiative for particulate hoods. It's the hoods you see firefighters wear when they're going inside buildings. A new NFPA mandate that came out last year in September says they have to be a particulate filtering hood now. So basically, it's a cancer push to make sure that we're protecting our firefighters. Those hoods run about $125 a piece. So I'm looking at about $18,000 to get enough of them in here to outfit the entire county. Hopefully, we'll be awarded an in, and we can pass that money, and there's equipment on to them. Real quick on just on the fire rescue side, I know y'all don't get a big update usually on fire rescue, so I figured I'd throw a little bit in here and just numbers and, and some big events that happened throughout the year. In October, there were 695 calls for service for fire and EMS in the county, obviously EMS being the biggest of that, but there's still a lot of calls, being that probably about 200 of those were fire department related calls. In or around town, town has a little bit higher call volume because of first responders. For the year, 6,489 calls for service for fire and EMS. Some of the larger incidents that were handled was the ice storm of February. There was a large brush fire in March in Dalton Heights area, 66 acres burned. Wind-driven, perfect conditions. Mr. Gillum, I know you know all about it. Had the train accident in Green Bay in July. Had a water rescue at Sandy River in September. Had a tractor accident in the Rice area in August. Remote access issues well off the road. Had to work to get to them. And then most recently, Tuesday, had a hunting accident in the Hampton-Sydney area that took a prolonged approach to get the subject out of the road. So it's about a mile and a little over a mile in the woods where he was. Could drive about halfway, had to walk the other half, and then we had to go and find a different way to get him out. So just some of the bigger incidents that happens. It doesn't take one department, it takes multiple departments, and it takes multiple people to make that occur. The Prospect ambulance for Prince Edward is about 2/3 the way complete through their 90-day trial. Seen positive outcomes from that truck being up there. I've seen shorter response times. And I'll tell you right now, while we were having the Purple Heart ceremony, there was a significant accident on 460. That ambulance from Prospect was on scene in 2 minutes, or head-on collision. So I think that's a win-win right there all day long. So hopefully, in the next 30 days or so, we'll have a complete report based off of what happened out there, and we can make some recommendations to continue that service for the future. 2 or 3 more small things here. As y'all know, I run the drone program for the county. Just a quick update, I had 18 drone missions for this year. Doesn't include stuff that Doug sent me out for economic development and pictures that y'all like to see. But they included missing persons, runaway juveniles, law enforcement requests, and those requests all were state, local, or federal. I've been called from state agencies, and I was also called from federal agencies to help them. And then I also helped their animal control when we had some horse and stuff that got lost in the woods, and we were worried about them getting out and getting hit on 460. And we had 2 search and rescue missions so far this year, both with positive outcomes with VDM CERT teams. Randy talked about address markers. If y'all are out and about, you know your neighbors, you know anybody in the community, you see address markers that are messed up, that you can't read, they're faded, they've been cut down. You know, VDOT, sometimes when the grass does get called, they'll hit them, that's fine. Let us know. We want to get them replaced and make sure that the responders can find them. And along with that, Everbridge, the last thing I'll talk about is we always are promoting Everbridge to everybody to please get them to sign up. If you have a community event, if you're going to a community event, I have flyers that has a QR code on it. They can scan the QR code. They can sign up right there. They can download the app. If you have a meeting, I know Ms. Pride, Jerry, y'all have town hall meetings. I'd be glad to either come out there, provide you some flyers. Either one is it's fine with me. But anything we can get everybody signed up for Everbridge. So, y'all have any questions for me?
I have one question, and it may not be possible, but if it is, could we include like average response times for department in that monthly report? Is that something we'd be able to see?
Yeah, we can do that.
It's not too much
All
clerical.
right, check on the report side of it. Yeah, we can probably get that
Yeah,
per month.
that'd be helpful as we're making
Sure.
decisions and talking about, this trial that we got with EMS having a second location.
Yeah, so the response trial data will have to be done manually because different trucks and different stuff. But yeah, that'll be scrubbed manually. But yeah, on a regular basis, it can be done.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate what you do, Trey.
Thank you.
Good job.
Well, we've got you. Can we go ahead
Yeah, you
and
got
move
me
to
for the next
Stockton
two.
Lake Cell Tower?
Next two things here. So this is related to the radio project. In December 12, 2023, the Board of Supervisors approved the contract for Motorola Solutions to purchase a P25 trunked UHF countywide radio system in partnership with the town of Farmville, Longwood University, and Hampton City College. The system is designed to use 3 tower sites in the county to ensure 95% coverage. The tower lease agreements were not part of the contract with Motorola. The radio system coverage analysis indicates that the antenna heights above 200 feet will be necessary to achieve required coverage. The Stockton Lake Tower site, which is at Five Forks and Pin Oak Road, is the only approved tower site that can provide the geographical coverage needed for the radio system. For the last several months, the county has been negotiating with the owners for the construction of a 250-foot tower site. Now, just to give you all some back information on that, Mr. Emmert, when I came, we pointed some numbers out with some discrepancies in the numbers, and there were 2 other tower sites in the area that wouldn't give us the height, but the leases were a little off from where we thought we needed to be. This is not a built tower site yet, so I just want to make sure y'all understand that we're going forward. The tower owner has agreed to increase the proposed tower height to 250 feet, allowing the Prince Edward County radio project to occupy the top position. This will be provided in exchange for a one-time capital payment of $125,000. The reoccurring lease cost for the site will be $850 per month with a 2% escalator over the initial term of 10 years with an automatic renewal for five-year terms. This lease rate is considered below the industry average for comparable tower sites. The county has received a working draft of the lease for the Stockton Lake Tower site, a copy which has been reviewed by the county attorney is included in the board to consider. This will be a sole source procurement as noted in the attached justification form and requires approval of the Board of Supervisors.
Mr. Chair, if I can add, Trey, you had our consultant do an analysis of the 125 plus the 850 a month and compare that versus us building our own tower. What was the time break-even point?
So the Prospect Tower site and then the Douglas Church, I'll use the Douglas Church because that's the one we brought before. In 30 years, Douglas Church was going to cost us 1.2, almost 1.3 million. In 30 years, the new tower site will only be 528,000 total.
And that's about the cost for us to build our own tower, not including manual maintenance and inspection requirements. So I think you're getting that 25 to 30-year value out of the lease. Is that fair?
I'd say absolutely
Yeah.
fair, yeah. Plus, we get top position, we're getting the best coverage. And that coverage was vetted by our consultant and by Motorola to make sure that we didn't need to go any higher. So 250 is all we need to make sure the guarantee's there.
Thank you. Any questions before we entertain a motion?
Just one question on renewal number 3. This may be for Terry, maybe for somebody else. Leasee shall have the right to extend it says earlier in that we would have 5 years. If we only have the right to extend it, in my opinion, it should say that the leasee shall extend the lease for 5 years rather than have the right, because if you read on down through that, they also can kick us off there with 60 days' notice. That's on page 44. Leasee or in writing, the leasee intention not to renew this lease, all they have to give is a 60-day prior notice to.
Do you want to make it automatic that we have?
That's exactly what I want. I want it to be automatic.
So there's
They-
no, there's no
They don't
out
have,
for
a
that.
they don't have a right to kick us off for at least 5 years. Because this way, at the end of 10 years, they can just say, hey, we decided not to, or we can increase it or whatever else. It could go to a 1 month. They could do it for 1 month, and then according to the way that's written,
Will you make a motion with that amendment?
I will make a motion with that, for you to talk to them, Terry, and say,
You know, and I guess, you know, sometimes I got moved one day out. You want to make it automatic, you know what I'm saying? You got to be committed.
What you really want to make is it's automatic unless we,
what I want it to be is that they can't kick us off with 60 days' notice because they have sold it or because they have decided there's not enough money and or whatever else.
it's almost like if we haven't notified that it's automatically assumed it's
Correct,
renewed.
correct. Yes,
That makes, I think that's what David's trying to
right,
say.
that's right. Where they can't decide with a 60-day notice, hey, we decided to increase this rent, so therefore we're giving you 60 days' notice and letting you go. Yes, I'll make a motion with that amendment if they'll agree to that.
A question, being we invested money in the extension, if it's sold, there should be a right that we own that top part.
I read that myself and decided, since we're paying for it, it really and truly is ours. That's the reason why I say that kind of the reason why I say that they shouldn't have the right to do anything, because we have given an initial investment. I don't know how you all need to address that, but they do need to realize that we are paying for part of the construction of this. I mean, we won't own it, but we certainly have some
Invested interest.
Vested interest.
vested investors' interest.
I'll second David's motion.
And this motion contains all 4 parts of the sample motion plus your amendment.
That is correct.
We have a second on the floor. Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper-Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Emmer?
Yes.
Mr. Watson?
Yes, with a reminder that that's the board member that comes up with this good stuff all the time. We thank you for your service.
Dr. Pride?
Yes.
Mr. Gillum?
Yes.
And my vote is yes.
You got me for one more item here. When you're ready, Chair.
Yes, sir.
EMS levy on August 13th, 2019, the Board of Supervisors adopted the Prince Edward County Emergency Services District. Adopted the Prince Edward County Emergency Medical Services District. Okay. The establishment of the district will allow the Board of Supervisors to annually levy a tax on the assessed value of property, real and personal, within the district. Any amount realized from such levy must be kept separate from all other monies of the county and shall only be used for the maintenance and operation of EMS services in the district as outlined in section 50-42 of the ordinance. September 13th, 2022, the Board of Supervisors adopted the available EMS levy funds to the EMS agencies in the county: Prince Edward Volunteer Rescue Squad, Meharry Volunteer Rescue, Fire and Rescue, Hampton-Sydney Volunteer Fire Department, and starting a contingency fund for emergency situations such as accident replacement, vehicle motor or transmission replacements. The agencies will be responsible for budgeting their operations, maintenance, and vehicle replacement funds. The funds will remain within the county account, and invoices shall be submitted for payment or reimbursement. As of September 30th, 2025, the current available balance was $355,866.66. Based on the disbursement formula that we came up with in 2022, the below budget supplement has been provided for your approval or consideration.
I move that the board approve and appropriate fiscal year 26 budget supplement.
Second.
I have a comment, question, please. In our contingency fund, we capped it at $500,000. We need to look at that because one rescue squad vehicle
About 425 right now.
is over $400,000. I wonder if we ought to increase that maybe to 600,000?
I was gonna say, we're not even there yet, but I would
I
suggest.
think next meeting we can,
Yeah.
yeah. So I will say,
Revisit.
we're at our third year coming up, so we have a review at 3 years again to review all of it, so we'll make a note for that to talk about.
Since we started this, things have dramatically
Absolutely,
increased
100%.
in price.
It makes sense.
Yes.
We have a motion on the floor and a second. Mr. Emmert?
Yes.
Mr. Townsend?
Yeah.
Ms. Cooper-Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Dr. Pride?
Yes.
Mr. Gillum?
Yes.
My vote is yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Trey.
Trey.
Finance and Human Resources Report, Ms. Cheryl Stimson.
Good evening, members of the board.
Good evening.
The first item for you is the T&K Enhanced Agreement. T&K Elevator Agreement for the elevators in the courthouse is attached. T&K Elevator in Prince Edward County have been under a previous contract for the past 20 years with no change to the contract agreement. The previous contract included an agreement that is no longer available and was $1,320 per month for a total yearly cost of $15,840. The current contract that we're looking at is a savings to the county of $7,104 per year, which is $650 a month plus a $39 fee for each elevator in the courthouse, for a total charge of $728 per month. The agreement is automatically renewal after 5 years unless either party provides notice of at least 90 days, but no more than 120 days before the end of the initial 5-year period, or at least 90 days before the end of any subsequent 60-month renewal period. So we're asking you to approve.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion on the floor with a second. Mr. Emmert?
Yes.
Mr. Townsend?
Yeah.
Ms. Cooper-Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Dr. Pride?
Yes.
Mr. Gillum?
Yes.
My vote is yes. The motion carries.
The next item is credit card increase for the treasurer's office. The treasurer's office credit card through Benchmark Community Bank is used to pay for expenses in the office. The credit card is maintained in the treasurer's office, and users will find the card in and out to track charges made on the card for payment purposes. The treasurer will need a letter from the board authorizing her to increase her credit card limit from $3,000 to $10,000.
So move.
Second.
Do we know how much they spend, Bert?
$3,000 on it. They can't spend much.
Part of their issue is they have to pay the state for DMV stops, don't they, sometimes?
So if you look at the email at the end, on the other side of the agenda summary, she's saying that her DMV is between $2,500 and $3,500.
Right.
At $3,000, she can't afford to, she can't pay for the,
Getting that.
We have a motion
So
on the
that's why
floor with
we're
a
asking
second.
for the
Mr.
increase.
Emmert will be
I'm
abstaining,
going to abstain.
so
Yes.
we'll start our voting with Mr. Townsend. Ms. Cooper-Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Dr. Pride?
Yes.
Mr. Gillum?
Yes.
My vote is yes.
thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl. Next on the agenda, state budget request for the Mary E. Branch Heritage Center.
I'm going to give a short overview. I'm not going to read the whole agenda cover sheet, but as the board is aware, there's an ongoing effort to restore the former Mary E. Branch Elementary School building into the Mary E. Branch Heritage Center, a space dedicated to community program and the preservation of the building's rich historical legacy. I will say that there has been some discussions with Southside Virginia Community College about ability to have space to be able to teach classes here locally for our residents. I know they're in Blackstone and a couple other places around the region. So they are very interested. The good thing about Southside is they have access to some state funds that could be used for the rehab in the building. Currently, the building faces critical structural threats, including collapsed roof and floor sections resulting from years of water infiltration and neglect. Without urgent stabilization, the structure risks complete loss. The Mary Branch Restoration Project seeks to stabilize, restore, and repurpose this important historic landmark. They have reached out to Delegate Tommy Wright, who is willing to submit a budget amendment language in the 2026 General Assembly if endorsed by the Board of Supervisors. I talked to Cade, his aide, and he said, Delegate Wright is very supportive of the project, just wants to know the Board of Supervisors is on board before he does that. And we would also send that to our other our delegates and senators as well to make that request. Hopefully somebody on the Senate side would put that in. Usually if you can get on the House and the Senate side, it will more than likely end up in the final budget. So that's the request. I'm happy to answer any questions.
If we're looking for class spaces from South Side, I haven't been in the center. Oftentimes when you're dealing with historic buildings, the cost to renovate is higher than the cost of building a new structure. How does this line up for this specific instance?
It was classroom space before, so I don't think that's gonna hurt them. There's always, what makes that building historic is the envelope of the building, the brick. I think when you get on the inside, there's not much left to save. This isn't like we're saving something that's only partly gone, if that makes sense. It's going to be a total rebuild, so you're not going to build, I don't think the goal would be to build to the Secretary Interior standards. It would be a more modern building, but from the outside, I think that's the look you would try to keep. But, I think the bottom line, we had put some ARPA money aside. We may have to use that ARPA money on another project because it may not happen in time. But if this building is going to get saved, it's going to take some state and federal dollar and maybe some private donation dollars to make it happen. It's not going to happen. And we've told the Heritage Group that we need some other funds. So I think they're trying to go out and find some other sources to make it work. So I'd say if you've got Delegate Wright willing to make the ask, let's see what happens.
I move that we approve it.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Emmert,
Yes.
Mr. Townsend,
Yes.
Ms. Cooper-Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Gillum,
Yes.
Dr. Pryor,
Yes.
Mr. Watson.
Yes.
My vote is yes. The motion carries. Next on our agenda is the County Attorney's Report. Ms. Terry Atkins Wilson.
Mr. Chairman, just before she starts, just so that everyone outside knows that we literally just are asking them to put that forth and ask for some help.
Right.
It's not that we are guaranteeing anything, we're just asking them to ask if there's any help.
Yes, thank you for the clarification.
allocating anything.
Correct.
Yes, we have
That's
not
correct.
spent any money tonight.
Correct.
Or committed.
Or committed to. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Glad to be back here with you. It's been a busy couple of months since I've seen you. As Trey went over, we've worked on the Stockton Lake Tower agreements. Spoke with an attorney down in Charleston, South Carolina, and he said, "Now, Terry, I really think if you could ask your board, you really need to come down here so we can discuss this." And I said, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do that, sir, but thank you for the invite.
Tell him, come on up.
Yes, right. Come visit Prince Edward County. We've worked on the two Prince Edward County sign easements, one from the Buckingham direction and the other one in the Rice direction. We've worked on the Board of Building Code Appeals. They had an appeal, but it was all resolved by the time the hearing came. So anyway, but we had reviewed their agenda summary and had that back in place. We've had two unclaimed deceased persons that one has a real estate and the other one has some personal property, and we're working on trying to recover the cost we paid for their cremation, and we're trying to recover from their assets. We're allowed by the code to do that. I've looked at there's been a siting agreement for the Tobacco Trail. And also there was a consulting contract with Timmons. We're working on a bill for an invoice for a cleanup that we did at 153 Railroad Avenue. Anyway, working on some real estate deals that may come down the pike. Anybody have any other questions, concerns?
Quick question, Terry, you just brought to my attention again, the two deceased people. Did we ever figure out anything of if we still need a place to put their remains and/or, we looked at that about a year and a half ago, that we thought about
Possibly
using
the Prospect
Yeah, the
and-
Prospect, or the cemetery across from Mary Branch, and decided
Yeah.
that they could not do that. The reason why is because there's a board meeting with the Prospect one in December. Do I need to bring that before them, or what are you thinking, Doug?
What do we have? We got a handful that Dayton's storing, or where are we at?
We don't have that.
So right now, I don't think I think we're,
All right.
I know one of the last ones, the sheriff was able to pass it off to a friend of the family.
Okay. No problem, I know we try not,
Yeah, I think that's a good way to, now, sometimes the sheriff is able, especially if there's military service, the sheriff makes arrangements for, the Amelia,
veterans.
yeah.
They will take
Veteran
it.
cemetery. It is still available, but I have to go before the board to get that done if we ever decide to do so.
Separate but related question. For an unclaimed person, who assumes the real estate and personal property, the assets that may exist?
Well, we're working on it. We've asked, in our petition and order, we've asked the court to give us permission to pursue getting reimbursed our cost.
Beyond that, does it go to the unclaimed? I know there's like, the state has that unclaimed property list that somebody later, a family member could pop up and say, oh, that's my great uncle.
Process, I think there's a legal process.
Right.
It doesn't really involve the county, it involves.
All we can do is go after what we've expended in this case.
So we can put effectively a lien on the value of the property
Right.
for
we're,
our expenses.
Right.
To be a creditor.
Right. And anyway, I'm checking with the listserv that we're, the local government attorneys. They all were at the homestead last weekend with their 50th anniversary celebration. I didn't join those folks, but 50 years for the local government association. But anyway, I'm trying to get the procedure. The statute says we can go after it, but there's no procedure that I'm familiar with for the sheriff to do that.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
sure.
Thank you.
You made a comment about you worked on some signage. The Purple Heart program we just did, might check into putting signs on
See if Scott
460.
will allow us to, as you enter the county, Sarah, Lou had mentioned, you were entering a Purple Heart County. I have seen that sign before.
I have too.
I have to.
I can't,
That would be nice.
I can't remember which county, but I've seen it before.
Yeah, I've seen it before.
Everybody keep your eyes open, so.
Yeah.
Seeing it's
I
for the
think
state.
460 both ways and 15 both ways. We ought to have one.
In 307.
All right. Any other questions, concerns? All right.
Thank you, Terry.
Thank you.
Thank you
folks.
very much.
Thank you.
Next, we have our county administrator's report.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board. First, again, I want to, on behalf of the staff, I want to congratulate our 4 returning board members. We look forward to serving you over the next 4 years and making, continued improvements for Prince Edward County. I appreciate, so tonight you saw about half of our department heads. You'll see the other half next month. As you can see, we have a extremely dedicated group of individuals. And I think, and part of that is when you're able to have continuity, and all these folks have been here for 5+ years. And when you're able to have that kind of continuity, that's when I think you really can get something done. So I certainly appreciate them. I know you do as well, but we're fortunate to have a hardworking, dedicated group of individuals that really care about how the county functions.
They have good command over their subject matter. too.
They understand
Until
what-
they really know what they're very competent
Exactly.
people.
Prince Edward County Treasurer and Commissioner of Revenue have identified and corrected a minor system error that affected 2025 tax bills for mobile homes and mobile homes only. The issue involved an incorrect EMS levy rate applied to certain mobile homes taxed on a real estate rate instead of the personal property rate. Most of the 843 affected accounts reflected a difference of less than $10. This is, for the most part, small potatoes. For those taxpayers, if your taxes are paid through a mortgage company, hopefully they'll be able to address that before the bills are sent to the mortgage company. If they have already paid their bill, the county will have the ability to issue a refund or credit to the account. If you have yet to pay the tax bill, the error can be corrected at time of payment. We appreciate residents' patience as the corrections are finalized. So if you are a mobile home used as storage, you are taxed as the regular personal property rate by state law. If you are a mobile home used as a residence, you are taxed the real estate rate, which is 39 cents versus the $4.50. Conversely, the EMS levy rate should be 1 cent for real estate, not 10 cents of personal property. That was the issue. So hopefully they've, again, identified it quickly and been able to reach out to folks. But if folks at home have any questions, please talk to our treasurer, Commissioner of Revenue, and they'll get you straightened out. Farmville Detention Center, Chairman Jenkins and I visited the facility last month, and we had lunch, the same lunch that's provided to our detainees, and that was after receiving, complaints about food quality and stuff at the facility. And I know the superintendent right down here on the dais, a lot of people, whether it's a jail or a detention facility, will complain. Sometimes they're going to complain about stuff, but I think one of the best ways, and the Chairman went along with me, is just go check it out for yourself. And if anybody up here is ever interested in going out, they'll be glad to provide us a meal. Be glad to take you along. Landfill payments at the last board meeting, we had some discussion regarding payments at the transfer station, whether the requirement that such payments be made only by credit or debit ran afoul of the legal requirements for legal tender. We had outside counsel from Sands Anderson review the issue in depth. They found the IRS itself had issued rulings that the requirement of legal tender does not require that every payment center accept cash if its logistical and size challenges make cash difficult at some centers. The quote was, while the U.S. government is required to accept cash payment of taxes or other debts, there is no statute or regulation requiring them to accept cash payments at each and every location that accepts payments. We also found it's not an uncommon practice at landfills. That said, if there's anybody out there that runs into any issues, please let us know, and we will either work to make sure they get an account set up or maybe put cash on it ahead of time. We can work through those things. But I think we really haven't had any issues, significant issues to date. So we'll continue to work with our customers. Derelict properties, back in August, the board directed staff to provide 30-day notice to 2 property owners and the property tenants of an intent to clean up the properties. These were long-standing zoning violations with lots of trash. The county cleaned up the Prospect site on October 24th. I don't know if you had a chance to go by. Supervisor Emmert did a really good job, and the property owners worked with staff that day. Tomorrow we'll be in Darlington Heights doing the cleanup. Mr. Gillum, if you have,
Been called to our attention.
yeah. So if you, I think that's.
Is this the second time on that?
Well, we haven't cleaned it up before. They've had to partially clean it up, but then we'll work with Terry, our county attorney, to place a lien on the property for the cost of the cleanup. Trey and Robbie really did a really good job on the last one, and it really made a difference for that area in Prospect. October 15, we had 23 firefighters representing the Hampton City, Prospect, Meharon, Darlington Heights, and Rice fire departments participate in solar training hosted by Strata Clean Energy. They had Fire Risk Alliance of Maryland come in and cover topics including design and construction of solar panels, safety considerations, and proper extinguishment techniques. The informative interactive session provided an excellent opportunity for participants to ask questions and gain knowledge about responding to solar-related incidents. We also had Sun Tribe provided training for area firefighters. They're going to be providing this Saturday, November 8th, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Elam Solar Site. Couple other things, the ag building, county staff has started removal of overgrown landscaping that has kind of grown unchecked for the last 20 years and caused some building maintenance issues. Dave is laughing down there. When you have roots that are growing up into the foundation and you've got moss and stuff growing on the side of the brick, you've got some problems. So we are working with the master gardeners to develop a list of replacement plants, but again, start back off small. The goal is to keep them small and keep them trimmed and maintained, and that was not done over the last 20 years.
Just gravel it and don't put any bushes out there.
With that, that's all I have unless there are any questions.
Just a quick one. If someone goes to the landfill that's not supposed to pay, if they pay with a credit card, can we get them reimbursed and or something?
I would think we'd at least be able to give them credit.
Tuesday, my neighbor went there with a small dump trailer, less than a pickup load of stuff, and they would not let him dump. So they called me, and I called there and said, would you please let him dump, because it's coming from a farm, it's not commercial. And make a long story short, they eventually did, but it was an issue, and I just wondered if I were to say to him, just pay it and go on.
I think the answer is absolutely, we could work on, we would be able to do a reimbursement. I was working on that, I'm going to call our office and talk to because if the charge is going through the landfill, the reimbursement's got to come through the finance office.
I understand.
Now, what happens is that the county employees that are in the scale house will not be making management decisions.
Correct.
So the other thing that could happen is to make sure that, that individual tries to reach out to the solid waste general manager at the time, and I can talk to him and say that, if there is something, we need to make sure that his employees know to reach out to him so that if we can resolve it in the moment, that would be preferable. But if it's, for example, if Jeff is off,
Right.
then we
And we might need to ask Crystal if she would send a letter, especially to anyone who has land use, because that's going to cover the majority of them, that they would know kind of what's allowed and what's not, because this person showed up with a volume-wise less than a pickup load. Let me rephrase that. Weight-wise, less than a pickup load, volume-wise, about 2 pickup loads. So he just dumped it on his dump trailer, which was mostly hay string, and of course it had some weeds in it and or whatever else. So it wasn't.
But they're a resident of Prince Edward County. I'm just curious as to why they didn't identify. We can talk about that. Yeah.
Just because they said, no, you'll have a meeting, make sure you bring it up, and I brought it up. I'm covered.
All right, at this point, everything left in our packet is informational except for the closed session, which we will go into before adjournment. So
I move the Prince Edward County Board of Supervisors convene in closed session for discussion and consideration of annual performance of the county administrator and county attorney pursuant to the exemptions provided in section 2.2-3711A1 of code, and for discussion and consideration of acquisition of real property for public purpose of county solid waste management, word discussion in an open meeting where it adversely affected bargaining with 2.2-3711A3 of the Code of Virginia.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Emmert?
Yes.
Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper-Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Dr. Pride?
Yes.
Mr. Gillen?
Yes.
My vote is yes. We're in closed session.
tired. I'm very tired. Ooh.
We weren't? We're still up? All right, never mind.
I move that the board return to open session.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Gillum?
Yes.
Dr. Pride?
Yes.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Mr. Emmer?
Yes.
My vote is yes.
Whereas Prince Edward County Board of Supervisors has convened in closed session on this date pursuant to an affirmative recorded vote and in accordance with provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, whereas section 2.2-3712 of the Code of Virginia requires certification by the board that such closed session was conducted in conformity with Virginia law. Now therefore be it resolved, the board hereby certifies to the best of each member's knowledge that only public business matters lawfully exempt from open meeting requirements of the Virginia law we're discussing closed session to which the certification resolution applies, and only such public matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed session was convened were heard, discussed, or considered in the board.
Motion is made. Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Gillum?
Yes.
Dr. Pride?
Yes.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Mr. Emmer?
Yes.
My vote is yes. At this point, I'll entertain a motion to
Adjourn.
adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Hey,
All in favor?
Don't forget.
Oh.
Yeah, we can't adjourn yet.
Yeah, no.
We have to, I make a
me
motion,
early.
yeah, I make a motion that we, what's the word I'm looking for? That we redo the contract for our county attorney to go to a fiscal year rather than a calendar year, and that we also redo the contract for the county administrator as we spoke in closed session.
There's a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Gillum?
Yes.
Dr. Pride?
Yes.
I think,
Well, I will say you, for legality reasons, you probably ought to say the dollar now.
yeah.
With that, I would like to make an amendment that we are going to raise the salary to 178 onto the county administrator.
$178,000.
Correct.
Motion is made. It has a second. Mr. Gillum?
Yes.
Dr. Pride?
Yes.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Townsend?
Yes,
Mr.
effective date November 1st.
Thank you for that amendment. It is assumed that all prior votes have accepted that amendment. Mr. Emmer?
Yes.
My vote is yes.
All the above.
Yes. Do we have any further matters?
I just want to express my thanks to the board for your confidence in me and staff and keep moving Prince Edward County forward.
Absolutely.
The board is thankful and supportive of our county administrator and our county attorney, so thank you both. At this point, we will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll do that.
I second that.
Second, Mr. Gilbert. Dr. Pride.
Yes.
Mr. Watson.
Yes.
Ms. Cooper Jones.
Yes.
Mr. Townsend.
Yes.
Mr. Emmer.
Yes.
My vote is yes. Meeting adjourned.
Have a good evening.